Iran's relentless overnight salvos of missiles and drones was followed by 6 more attacks on Israel on March 19. Nearly 200 people in Israel were reportedly taken to hospitals within 24 hours after successive Iranian attacks. A series of non-stop overnight missile strikes from Iran caused new deaths and widespread destruction across several parts of Israel. Iran unleashed repeated waves of ballistic missiles and drones at Israel, intensifying the scale and tempo of its strikes. Israel's targeted killing of 3 senior Iranian figures in just 2 days has provoked fierce retaliation from Tehran. Iran launched at least 6 separate missile barrages at multiple Israeli cities in the early hours of March 19, hitting the country with continuous fire through the night. One of the ballistic missiles was believed to be armed with a cluster-type warhead and exploded over open areas, scattering dangerous submunitions across the ground. Iran then fired a 3rd volley of ballistic missiles within just 1 hour toward northern Israel, setting off air raid sirens and sending residents scrambling for shelter. After the 6th wave of attacks, reports said there were no direct hits on populated areas and no new injuries recorded from that particular barrage. Yet Israel's health ministry reported that 177 people had been taken to hospitals in the previous 24 hours, many suffering from injuries, shock, and anxiety linked to the ongoing strikes. Among the wounded, 1 person was listed in critical condition, and 2 others were reported to be in moderate condition following the latest rounds of Iranian attacks. In an earlier Iranian strike, at least 1 person was killed inside Israel and 3 more people lost their lives in the West Bank, underscoring the mounting human toll of this escalation. Latest missiles were believed to carry cluster warheads, but landed in open terrain without hitting built-up areas. No injuries or damage were reported from the most recent strikes, even though sirens sounded widely. Air raid sirens blared across central Israel and parts of the West Bank as new missile launches were detected. Iran fired multiple volleys of missiles toward northern Israel within an hour, setting off repeated alarms. Recent missiles that impacted northern Israel also fell in open areas, and there were no reported casualties. The Israeli Health Ministry said 177 people were taken to hospital in the previous 24 hours amid the ongoing attacks. The Health Ministry did not specify how many of those injured were hurt by direct strikes or while rushing to shelters. Since the Iran war began on February 28, a total of 3,924 people have been admitted to hospitals across Israel. Israeli authorities said 74 patients remained hospitalized as the confrontation with Iran continues. Iran's repeated missile strikes through the night kept Israeli towns on constant alert, with sirens blaring and residents sheltering in fear of fresh impacts. The strikes persisted deep into the night, with explosions shaking central and southern Israel as missiles rained down without pause. For the 2nd consecutive night, Israel was hit hard. Widespread destruction, fires, and mounting casualties brought renewed fear across the country. The IRGC claimed responsibility, saying both Israeli and US military bases were targeted in what they described as the 63rd wave of attacks since the outbreak of the war. Powerful missiles fired by Iran struck major Israeli cities including Akka, Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Bir al-Sabah, causing heavy damage to infrastructure and homes. The IRGC also alleged that both Israeli and US defense systems failed to intercept several Iranian missiles, allowing key military and strategic sites to be struck directly. Missiles tore through the night sky and hit their targets before any warning sirens could sound, catching many cities completely off guard and defenseless. In central Israel, an Iranian cluster missile was reported to have struck near populated areas, triggering waves of panic and air raid sirens moments after impact. Reports from the Times of Israel indicate that nearly half of Iran's ballistic missiles fired so far have carried cluster warheads, intensifying concern over the conflict's growing brutality. Iranian forces launched several waves of missiles and drones targeting Israeli cities and US-linked military sites. Ballistic missiles equipped with cluster bomb warheads were fired deep into central Israel, intensifying the assault. Police and emergency teams confirmed multiple impact zones across central Israel following the latest barrage. In Morshav Adanim near Tel Aviv, a foreign worker was killed after being struck by deadly shrapnel. Cluster munitions caused severe damage to homes and public infrastructure in several parts of central Israel. In Beta War near Hebron in the West Bank, 3 Palestinian women lost their lives in what appeared to be a cluster bomb strike. The Palestinian Red Crescent said at least 3 people were killed and more than a dozen others were injured in the attacks. Iran launched a powerful barrage of advanced ballistic missiles, including Khorramshahr 4, Garda, Ahmad, and Kibar Shikan models, directly aimed at the Tel Aviv region in a major show of force. Multiple Iranian missiles carrying several warheads struck Tel Aviv, each marked with the slogan Wa'abar Abdullah al-Hussein, signaling both religious zeal and military defiance. Tehran announced that the large-scale missile assault was a direct act of retaliation for the assassination of senior Iranian politician Ali Larijani and several of his close aides. Following Larijani's killing on March 17, Iran confirmed the death of its intelligence minister, Ismail Khatib, the very next day on March 18, a loss that further fueled Iran's aggressive military response.
This morning we eliminated Ali Larijani. Ali Larijani is the boss of the Revolutionary Guards, which is a gang of gangsters actually running Iran. Alongside him, we also eliminated the commander of the Basij, who are the aides to the gangsters spreading terror in the streets of Tehran and the liberated cities of Iran against the population. There too we operating from the air, with Air Force planes, with UAVs and operating there as well. We are shaking up this regime, hoping to give the Iranian people a chance to remove it. It won't happen all at once, it won't happen easily, but if we persist, we will give them an opportunity to take their fate into their own hands. Meanwhile, we are helping our American friends in the Gulf. I had long discussions with President Trump on this matter. There is cooperation between our air forces and navies, between me and President Trump and the administration. We will also assist in indirect attacks that create enormous pressure on the Iranian regime and also indirect actions. There are many more surprises and warfare maneuvers. We won't reveal all the maneuvers here, but as I've told you, there are many. Now regarding another matter, the most important thing to win a war is what is called in English, tenacity. And in Hebrew, determination. Determination, determination, determination. Determination of the leaders, determination of the commanders, determination of the people. We are determined to win and we will achieve these things. I ask you simply to ignore the channels of despair. We are achieving historical achievements. With God's help we have reached a situation that after October 7th, which was a precipice, we are now a mighty power, almost global, with an ally that is the global power, fighting shoulder to shoulder. This is already a tremendous achievement against all the threats that will come to us. Which other country has these capabilities? All here are attacked, and who has these strengths? Ours, of the alliances, of the IDF, of the Air Force, and of a strong people. So stay strong. And I want to tell you, we will also help you. Regarding compensations, I instructed to present you the outline and also to expand the outline, to help the North and to help all who are in need, as we have already done in the past with the people of ceasefire, as we did previously with COVID-19, we will do it even more this time.
בעבר בעם כלבי, כפי שעשינו קודם לכן בקורונה, נעשה את זה ביתר שאת הפעם.